Hello everyone and welcome to Crypto News. Today is May 28th, 2025 and the top cryptocurrency news is as follows. And today we will start with statements from Bitcoin 2025. Let's say that Trump supports the bill to purchase 1 million BTC for the US in 5 years. This bill has been introduced by Ms. Lummis and we have seen it in previous episodes of Crypto News. The last things we know from Ms. Lummis' statement is that the President of the United States supports this bill and wants it implemented. As she told us, she already has a team in the White House working on it, along with the Genius Bill on stablecoins and other things related to cryptocurrency. Her statements, of course, are below in the description for you. However, on the same panel, Ms. Lummis told us that U.S. generals also support this particular bill. In that statement, she said that many U.S. generals understand that the U.S. needs to have both military and economic power. A Bitcoin reserve is necessary for the U.S. to remain competitive. Moving on, since we've gotten to Trump and all that, let's just say that after all, Trump media has lied to us in previous episodes. Trump Media and Technology Group has confirmed that it is raising $2.5 billion to buy Bitcoin after lying in previous reports about a deal. So Trump's company will be buying Bitcoin and it will be buying a lot of Bitcoin. Another company that is buying Bitcoin and not saying so is BlackRock, whose internal holdings in its Bitcoin ETF have increased by 25%. Let's say BlackRock's internal portfolio is quietly accumulating its holdings, which are shares of the spot Bitcoin ETF. Since it's a spot, it immediately buys BTC. As of March 31st, 2025, the portfolio held 2.123 million shares of the iShares Bitcoin Trust. These shares are worth $99.4 million. As of December 31st, 2024, that number was 1.7 million shares. So BlackRock is also buying BTC through its ETF. Next, we're going to go to our exchange and go to gate.io. We learned that it has delisted 33 cryptocurrencies, most of which have lost more than 40% of their value. The list of cryptocurrencies it delisted is on the left. You can pause the video if you want to see which ones, or the link will be back below in the sources for those interested. So from gate.io, we'll go to MetaMask, which simply provided support for the Solana network. This is the first time that MetaMask has integrated a non-EVM network, and this is very important because we see it expanding to other networks besides the ones that support the Ethereum network, and you can just use MetaMask and put Solana or other things from its ecosystem. Moving on from MetaMask, we'll go to the SUI news, and we'll start with the Cetus hack, and then we'll go to something cooler. First of all, let's say that Cetus is asking for support from the SUI community. Let's say that the Cetus protocol, which is based on SUI, says that it can compensate any user affected by the exploit. If SUI owners approve the return of the frozen funds in an incoming blockchain vote, Cetus said in a statement that its token deposits, combined with a secured loan from the SUI Foundation, are enough to cover the $61 million worth of assets that the criminals have essentially bridged to Ethereum. According to SUI, the loan only applies to the amount that has been credited to the Ethereum network and not the remaining $162 million that is already frozen on the network. And it also tells us that in an upcoming community vote, it will be decided whether or not these funds will be unlocked. So that's the last we know about this case. And that's what, according to Mr. Costas, who, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the founders of SUI, and I'm not sure why he doesn't mention it in his profile, but I think he is basically showing us a demo that allows Bitcoin holders to receive airdrops and NFTs from the SUI network via an NFT that will essentially be issued by the SUI side. Let me tell you at this point that of course I went and asked, and the question Crypto News asked is whether, theoretically, BTC can live on the SUI network and enter some DeFi or DEX essentially. And Mr. Costas answered me and told me that BTC never leaves the Bitcoin network. What's essentially happening is that an NFT will be issued on the SUI network, where the job of that NFT is to prove that you first have a Bitcoin address and what that address is. And once that happens, the various providers from SUI will be able to send NFTs, airdrops, and other things to those addresses. They're doing this to essentially expand their community. Let me tell you that beyond this demo, Crypto News believes that maybe these are the first steps to seeing something bigger between Bitcoin and SUI. I don't have any proof, it's just something I believe in, and we from SUI, it's time to go to our favorite cryptocurrency market, where Bitcoin is at $108,000 at a price that is currently unimpressed by the Bitcoin 2025 statements. That wraps up the top news for crypto. Today is May 28th, 2025. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care everyone, and have a good day.